So let's dive into this subject of why most Christian content creators are narcissists and the one step you can take to assure that you are not one of them. So many times when I'm working with Christian content creators, and I don't exclusively work, but I work with other content creators, but I hear this the most from Christian content that they're Christian. They're bringing in these limiting beliefs from their Christian background. These are things I hear them saying. What will people think of me if I was to blog? Sorry, I don't know why I made that sound like a Valley Girl. Who am I to think that I can be helpful, that my helpful words should be heard? Who am I to think that I should write a book? I'm just doing this for me, my own enjoyment. There's no need to actually market well. And I have to say, I sound like I'm teasing, but 6 years ago, I was saying all these exact same things. And now, 6 years later, after 2 books and launching a podcast and launching a coaching business and investing a lot myself into coaching situations where I was coached and taking marketing classes, I can look back 6 years ago and laugh at these things that we say that hold us back from really touching lives. Oh, we have a viewer. Welcome, viewer. Let's see who you are. See, this is why I need to use a different program that's not Be Live, so I can actually see who's watching. Glad you're here with me. Please comment below about the title. Have you ever been around a pastor or minister or Christian content creator that you thought, oh gosh, they're coming off as narcissistic? Chances are you have. So today's video is all about making sure you don't come off that way. Okay, so these are things that I have heard. And I'm just doing this for my own enjoyment. Just for me, there's no reason to market well. I've also heard I'm too humble to actually own the power that God has given me and believe that I can be an authority on this subject and serve others. They might not say it just like this. I didn't say it just like this, but this is what we mean. I'm too humble as a Christian to actually own the power that God has given me, to own my authority and believe that I can be an authority on this subject that I want to write about or talk about or coach about and serve others. I'm too humble for that. So what does this mindset lead to? It leads to not only horrendous marketing that's breaking all the rules and not efficient or successful at all, but it actually makes Christian content creators the exact opposite of that which most of them want to be. Most of them, now I know there are people out there that are behind a pulpit or are behind a microphone that are using the power of religion in a very unhealthy way, and it makes me tear up with anger, and they really are narcissistic. We're not going to talk about them today because chances are 99.9% sure that if you're watching this right now, you're not a narcissistic person. You would not be concerned about coming off as a narcissist. You would not be joining a group that's about polishing your skills or growing your confidence if you were truly a narcissist. So we're not talking about the true narcissist today. We're talking about the people that are so afraid to come off as one, and because of that fear, they are getting that exact result. And it's crazy, almost laughable, that they get out of this fear of becoming or coming off as narcissistic. They become the exact opposite of actually helping other people. And I see it time and time again with the clients that I work with in Christian content creation or content marketing. So, as I've already beat the dead horse, this fear of becoming narcissistic or coming off as that leads to the exact opposite of serving people well. And I have a great example I'm going to show you. And because I'm a nice person and I don't want to throw shade because we're all growing and we're all learning and we all started somewhere. What I'm about to show you is this is a podcast logo that a Christian content creator made. I took it and I made a very similar one. And I changed the name, of course. I changed the name of the show, but I left it pretty similar. And this content creator that I'm working with, they were saying all these limiting beliefs that we were talking about at the start of this video. They were saying things like, it's just for my own enjoyment. I don't really have to market it well. Marketing well would make me less humble if I was to own my power as a marketer, own my power as one that could serve people. So I'm gonna show this to you now as a teachable moment. Okay, so here it is. Oh gosh. So again, moving my laptop. Okay, sorry, I have so much passion and thought, so many thoughts around this subject matter that I'm just exploding over here. So pardon me. Okay, so this is a podcast logo, name, tile, whatever you want to call it, art. So in this, as you can tell, it is called Rory's Reflective Spot. And the podcaster's name is Rory, and it's his reflective spot. And this is all, again, this is a real show. I just changed the name of the person, but all these other little things I'm going to tell you are real. This person even changed the color of the R and the S, so it would be his or her, sorry, there. Not that person's going to watch this at all, but once again, I want to respect people growing on their journey. I don't want to throw shade, but it's also, this is such a powerful teaching moment that I think content creators need to know, especially spiritually tuned go-getters. So they even changed the letter color, the font color of the R and the S, so their first and last name would be made known. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see how narcissistic this is coming off? And then the tagline for the show, and again, forgive me for laughing, is sharing my thoughts. Whose thoughts? Mine, the host. Not guiding you toward your own epiphanies, not pointing you toward tools that help me on the journey of healing and growth. No, sharing my thoughts as we walk in together in faith. Holy moly, is there anything here that tells the target market how it's going to serve them? Is there anything in this podcast logo that tells the listener how it's going to help them? What question it's going to help them explore and answer? What problem it's going to solve? Is there anything about the listener or the target market on this podcast logo? Is there anything on this podcast logo about the person you feel called to serve? No. What are we seeing here? We're seeing the name of the podcaster. We even see the letters, the colors changed. So it would be made known what the podcaster's initials were. Rory Spogel. I just made that up. Actually, that's a comedian. This isn't his show. And then the tagline even says, sharing my. What personal pronoun do we see? My. It's not even in second person. It's not even serving the listener. If you were to hear the podcaster behind this show talk, their biggest fear is coming off as narcissistic. I'm just doing this for my own enjoyment. I'm not here to serve. I'm not here as the authority. This is all for my enjoyment. I'm a good, humble Christian. I don't market because I don't really care about it. It's just for me. And so out of that excess, what we resist persists. And I see it time and time and time again that Christian content creators, out of this deep fear to come off as narcissistic, they become exactly that. And it leads to horrible marketing. Horrible marketing. Why do I say that? Because whenever your customer, client, buyer, potential follower comes to you, they need to know in 3 to 5 seconds the acronym WIIFM. What's in it for me? In 3 to 5 seconds, whether it's your website, your social media, your podcast logo, whatever it is, they need to know in 3 to 5 seconds what's in it for me. What problem will you help me solve? What wound will you help me heal? What question will I explore with you? And this right here, there's nothing for the listener. and it's coming off as more narcissistic than probably she could ever imagine or understand that this is the result. There was also once there was a retired clergy person who I got to coach, and this person was starting a blog, and he shared this blog post. He shared one of his blog posts in our Facebook group, and one of the Facebook groups that I run, and he put in the caption, he put a link to the blog, and then in the caption he put today's blog post. And so I reached back out to him and I said, hey, so glad you're sharing this. You're more than welcome to share content like this in this Facebook group. However, I want you to rewrite the caption, and I need you to tell me, who is this caption? Who is this blog post for? Who is it going to serve? Describe that person, and what problem will it help them solve? So basic story brand, Donald Miller marketing type of stuff, basic marketing tactics, psychology, really, marketing 101. And so he responded with, oh no, this blog post, it is not for everyone, it's for me. So then I responded back and I said, then why share it on social media? He's not being honest with himself in that moment. It's not just for him. If it was just for him, it would be a spiral on his kitchen table that he's writing in. And that's okay too. But obviously, and this is what we get into, that would be, I invite you to go back to click videos on the left side of your screen in the Facebook group or on my YouTube channel, and find the video with life coach AJ Amix over shadow work. And I know you've probably heard of this, doing shadow work. And this is exactly this is an example of that, is that if this retired Christian clergyman who now is morphing into content creator in a different way, if he was to do his shadow work and realize, I do want attention. I want attention on my content because I do believe, and this guy, he's not a narcissist. I do believe I can help people. So I want my content to get attention. That's good marketing. If he was to do that shadow work like I had to do a few years back and own it, he could be touching lives and really helping people. And so, but he's not. Out of fear, he's just gonna put it out there. I don't really want this. And I tease because I've been there. I'm just gonna put it on Facebook with a weak post. It's not gonna get any traffic. And then he's, at his core, he wants his content to get attention. So own it, and I guess that gets into our next steps, is how to move differently to make sure that you don't come off as a narcissistic Christian content creator, or as a not even Christian, just a narcissistic content creator, because they're out there. They're not watching this right now because they don't care. They don't think they have areas of growth. They don't care how they come off to people. They're not watching this. So you're not one of them. So how do you move differently as a podcaster, author, blogger? Oh, let me make sure our stream is still working. Burp, 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 burp. Sorry, guys and gals. I want to make sure we're still on. Nope. Where did it go? I think it's still here. Okay, it's still here. Okay, so how do you move differently to make sure you don't come off that way? Drink break. I do want to back up a moment. I'm going to get off script a little bit. And that's because this is an area of great passion for me, because I think it's holding back. I can list at least three people, three amazingly talented, faithful folks in my life who are competent out the wazoo and trained and experienced, and they need their books are going to heal people. Their podcasts, their ideas are going to heal people, are going to help people grow closer to God, are going to heal people's families. But because they are so afraid of coming off as self-centered or narcissistic, they are not producing content that's going to help other people. And I've even heard some people, I'm being very diplomatic here. I've even heard some say, these people that are extremely talented and faithful and emotionally aware, I've even heard them say things like, It's just for my own enjoyment. It's for my own reflection and growth. It's for me to figure this out. It's just for me. And as I've said time and time and time and time and time and time again on every video, that if there is an idea on your heart to create something that's going to serve other people, it is there because somebody outside of yourself is desperately wanting you to create that so it can help them too. Could you imagine if Brene Brown was to do all of this work on herself and all of this research that also had and found these tools and resources and techniques and found these answers and found these reasons why shame affects us the way it did? What if Brene Brown was to do all that work, grow herself, and then say, I'm not going to do that TED Talk that blew up to one of the most watched TED Talks of all time, because I'm not going to do that TED Talk because this was just for me. This was just for my own growth. Could you imagine if she was to do that? Could you imagine if she was to keep it to herself? Could you imagine if Martin Luther King Jr., when he was in prison and he wrote, as he was reflecting, he wrote that letter he was reflecting, he was doing some major introspective work, and that letter would have never gone out to other people. Could you imagine that? What I'm saying is the introspective, reflective work that you're doing, if you think, I'm really curious and interested in why blank affects blank, or I'm going to do a whole podcast, I want to start a podcast about that, do it, because the idea wouldn't be there unless other people weren't hungry for that idea to come and serve them. And where you are right now is where someone else where you are right now, let me start over. Blah, blah, blah. Where you are right now in your spiritual growth, in your business, as a writer, wherever you are right now, someone else is where you were 4 years ago right now. So they need your honest help. They need it. And I'll also repeat something else that I repeat time and time again, because I think it's so important for faithful, talented, emotionally healthy content creators that are just lacking confidence. That are just lacking confidence, is to know this, that if ever you're marketing, if ever you're creating, if ever you're offered a gig, trust yourself to know, whoa, this right now is, I'm not creating from a good space. I catch this sometimes in myself. Whoa, right now, this post I'm about to do in organic social media marketing, I'm creating from a vengeful place. This necessarily isn't, could it serve someone? Yes, but I don't feel comfortable. This is not coming from a good place. Trust yourself to know. You'll know. You will know. And I know that about you because you wouldn't be a part of this group on Facebook. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't a faithful, talented, emotionally aware, emotionally healthy, someone who's trying every day to be a little more closer to God. I know that about you. You wouldn't be watching this if you weren't those things. And so trust yourself to know. Trust yourself to know that unless, as I say all the time, unless you are doing a GoFundMe campaign or a Kickstarter to raise money to get laser hair body removal all over your body, laser hair removal all over your body, unless you're doing a Kickstarter campaign for that, that's going to serve nobody. Trust yourself to know that the majority of the beautiful creations you create, they are coming from a place of serving others. Did they help you as well? Yeah, they did. And now you can let others find light in the knowledge that you found, not from a place of narcissistic tendencies, but from a place of truly serving other people. And I think that just to hit the point home, we want to confidently own your power from realistic humility. And when I confidently own your power from realistic humility, who wrote this? That might not even make sense. So what I mean by that is owning it, that you are not you might be feeling like you need to step into the role of guru on your podcast, your book, or your blog or vlog. But I would suggest, and I have a feeling that, pardon my dog, I have a feeling that most people in this group, they want to be called as guides. So own it as a guide that makes mistakes, that will get knocked down on the mat as we learn this game of being spiritually attuned go-getters. We'll get knocked down on the mat, we'll get back up, we'll try again, and we will make mistakes. And the next day we will do great and share tools with people and help people grow in their faith, help them solve problems that you have found tools that help you solve. And so it's this confidently owning your power from realistic humility. And when I coach on content marketing, some of the organic social media posts that we talk about is just the importance of this vulnerability, this authenticity that you're writing from. So confidently owning your power from a place of realistic humility, if that made any sense. And then owning it, unlike the two examples I gave at the start, owning it that I do have what it takes to serve others toward this result. Whatever it is, whatever question that you want to explore, whatever area of holy discontent that really grinds your gears, know that other people out there are asking the same questions. Know that other people right now in 2020 are where you are around this subject that you feel called to teach over. They are where you they are where you were 4 years ago, 6 years ago, and they are desperately hungry for a guide, for someone to create this space, to have this conversation, to explore it. And once you own this, you can, as a good, humble, good old Christian, you can state and believe and hold yourself from a place of, I am the authority on this, and I'm going to mark it well. I'm not going to half-ass mark it and pretend to be a good, humble Christian. I'm going to, from a place of humble confidence, I'm going to own my power that God has given me as the authority, and I'm going to learn to mark it well. Because when I learn to mark it well, there should be nothing that's about, there's not going to be space for poor marketing, like changing the letter color so your initials are made known. There's only going to be space for, in 3 to 5 seconds, your ideal customer to know, ideal client, ideal reader to know, what's in it for me? How are you, content creator, going to serve me? And that is marketing well. And in order to do that, you have to lean into the fact that you want attention on your content, because you believe, you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't, you believe your content is going to serve people well. I recently found out that, so I like to serve recovering holy rollers, burnt out holy rollers that are on their way to owning their power as spiritually attuned go-getters. So my latest book, it's a satirical spiritual book, and I say it reads like Seth Meyers conceived a book baby with the activist and nun Joan Chittister. And it's a book that is all about tapping into the divine to take back the power from others in your life. So in this book, I talk a lot about, I bring up church hurt. I write a lot about church hurt on Instagram and Facebook. And lately, I have had 2 childhood friends of mine that have been really invested and engaging in my posts that I do on social media. And I thought, well, that's crazy. That's what's going on. That's interesting. I haven't heard from them in years. Why are they all over my stuff that's about my book, or about the online course that is with the book, or the journal that goes with the book? They were all over stuff, liking it, commenting. So then, I won't share too much detail, but I come to find out that both of these people in the past 17 years or so, at one point or another, since I last saw them in the high school, they had both experienced severe church hurt. They had both experienced severe hurt by a truly narcissistic religious leader. Gosh, it gets me emotional. And so I am so thankful. Gosh, I am so thankful that I marketed well. I am so thankful that I took the time to reflect, to lean into my shadow work, do my shadow work, and realize I'm an authority on this. I have been there. I have felt the pain. I have found tools that help me recover, that help me heal. And now as a guide, I want to share these tools with you as a humble guide that makes mistakes and experiences the contrast of life. I want to serve you. I am so glad I marketed well. So those two people that want help to get over church hurt, those two people that want to come out of being burnt out holy rollers, that they found the content that I created and it helped them. Those likes, those comments, they carry so much more weight when you realize, wow, I know what that person's come through. And I'm so thankful that I marketed well, that they could get the help that I feel God has made me to create for them to find help. So owning your authority and owning it that, gosh darn it, damn it, I'm going to market well from a place of humility, from a place of confidence, from a place of authority on the subject matter that I feel the divine has called me to serve through in writing or podcasting or whatever. I'm going to own my authority and market well. And I might have already said the other things. Yeah. Yep, I already said that. So this is, and I think I already said this as well, but I think it's good to end on this note. And that is the very sad news that too many talented, faithful, emotionally healthy people are not creating content that helps other people find healing and power because they're afraid of coming off as too narcissistic. They're afraid. They're too afraid to learn how to market well. They're too afraid to own their authority and serve other people. So that is very sad news on lots of levels. And you might be watching this and you might be thinking, oh, that's me. I have a stigma about marketing that keeps me from actually serving people well. Isn't that crazy to think about? My fear of coming off as blank to people that I'm not even called to serve, but I'm so obsessed with what they're going to think of me. My fear is keeping me from serving other people well. Yeah. So if that is you, I would like to encourage you to hit me up on direct message on Facebook or Instagram, or go to my website, megcalvin.com, and let's hop on the phone and let's have a conversation about your content creation, your content marketing. If you are ready to stop letting fear run your life, if you are ready to get that book done, that podcast out there, that vlog or blog started, if you're ready to start coaching, but you are too afraid of what other people will think of you, you're too afraid people will think you're a narcissist, I love coaching. I would love coaching you, and I would love helping you in your content creation and your content marketing and owning your power as the authority. And so hit me up at, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, Meg Calvin, or Instagram, Meggie_Lee_Calvin, or megcalvin.com, and or comment below in this Facebook video.